And I believe collectively as a group, we're going to kick the competition's butt because we understand how important it is to think, execute, and dominate. Rule number one, peak performers always have a clear vision.
The reason I love Walter Bond's speech so much is because his enthusiasm is so infectious. I mean, sales is a transfer of emotion, a transfer of energy, and that's what we really felt from his presentation.
He's a fantastic speaker. We've had big audiences and small audiences. He's done an 11-city tour over 2 weeks, and what he was really able to do was connect with the client.
Thank you, Walter Bond. You are amazing, and I'm waiting in line to get your book and your CD signed, so I'm super excited to be here.
He was probably just the best motivational speaker I've ever heard before. He was really cool.
I have a tremendous amount of respect because he did what business owners do. He didn't get this thing kind of handed to him. Walter Bond is teaching you how to build a business or have a great life because he started from scratch himself.
I've been waiting a long, long time to share. And here it is. Suck it up. Get tough. Suck it up. Get tough. I mean, get your mindset right. Change happens. It is what it is. Change happens. Get your mind right. You don't think people got cut playing professional sports? Do you think it was easy for me to become one of the best basketball players in the world that you never heard of? Some of you get it. Some of you don't. But I want you all to get it. Here's the number one question that your customers ask themselves when they leave your store, when they leave your restaurant, when they leave Golden Corral on their way home. Well, what did we think? Did we like them? Always very first question. These coaches would leave our house. Michigan, Minnesota, UCLA, Arizona State. They would leave our house, and the very first question as a family, well, what did we think of Michigan? What did we think of Wisconsin? What did we think of UCLA? What did we think? If the answer was, what does that really mean? Next. If a family leaves Golden Corral, when they get in their car, hey guys, what did we think? What does that really mean? What you want them to say every time they get in that car as they drive away, oh my God, that was awesome. Oh my God, that was unbelievable. Oh my God, that was amazing. Because they're going to ask consciously and subconsciously every time they leave your restaurant. What I'm going to teach you today came directly from that meeting. It was like a 2-minute soundbite. I go to Jerry Sloan and I say, Jerry, I'm trying to make your team, but since we don't scrimmage, I feel like I can't show you what I can do. Golden Corral, hear me clearly. Listen to his answer, and it will unlock some mysteries as to how you become the best in the world at what you do over a long period of time. Jerry, I'm trying to make your team, but I feel like I can't show you what I can do. He says, Walter, I already know what you can do. But if you want to make my team, I suggest you listen, follow directions, and execute. That's different. Listen, follow directions, and execute. What I didn't realize, even though we didn't scrimmage in practice, throughout practice, we did drills, and he created what I call habits and rituals. Every single day, practice was the same. Every single day, we drilled on fundamentals. Every single day, we worked on habits and rituals. So even though my mind was floating, even though I was selfish and self-centered, he was conditioning me into the culture through practice of habits and rituals. The reason why I tripled my NBA income in 3 years is because of habits and rituals. Next year, if your name didn't get called to come across the stage, I'm here to tell you they will call your name next year if you go back home and execute habits and rituals. I wanted to scrimmage for me, but Jerry Sloan was getting me ready to play for the Utah Jazz. So every day it was about habits and rituals. Having hot food is about habits and rituals. Great customer service is about habits and rituals. Being the best in the world at what you do, being a pro, is all about habits and rituals.
This individual is a business expert, and he's a highly sought after professional speaker as there is. And he's the founder of the Bond Group.
Raise your hand if you played records in high school. 33s, 45s, 78s. Raise both hands if you had an egg track tape player in high school. That's a couple of you guys with that silver hair. I see you in the back. You cranked your music in high school, but I'm gonna leave you alone today.
Walter Bond played professional basketball for NBA teams such as the Utah Jazz, Detroit Pistons, and the Dallas Mavericks. And as a highly acclaimed international speaker and entrepreneur, Walter delivers more than 100 life-changing keynotes and seminars each year.
The likability factor is the best kept secret in business. People want to buy from people they like. When Coach Haskins left my home, he was likable and it was a done deal.
And I tell you what, Jonas, transitioning out of sports is tough for anybody. Your whole life is sold out to the sport. And then one day it's taken away, and now you got to figure out the next plan, and you hadn't had time to make a plan because it takes such a commitment to play pro sports.
This is giving you the business. Our first actor is on a serious mission.
All right, guys, let's send her. Let's send her.
He has done an incredible job connecting with the audience and just delivering a message that I think that is so powerful that the clients can take back to their practices and implement.
Any cliche that makes reference to fellowship never makes reference to age. Birds of a feather flock together. Let me tell you something. If you're a mama, raise your hand. If you're a mama, raise your hand. If you're a daddy, raise your hand. Let me teach you something powerful. Your family should be a training and development organization masquerading as a family. I was trained to be sweet, baby. Be sweet and go get it. It was a culture in our home. So if you don't like your family right now, here's what I recommend. Create you some core values and go home and preach them. But most importantly, I need you to model them. Because I heard my mama say, be sweet, baby, be sweet, and then she modeled sweetness. I heard my daddy say, go get it, son, go get it, and I saw him go and get it. See, some of you guys might think the N-word would bother me. You don't bother me with the N-word. But there is one word that should bother all of us. It's not the N-word, it's the H-word, and that word is hypocrite. See, when you were driving down the street with your family in the back car, remember our kids in those car seats? My kids were always crooked. I still ain't figured out those car seats. They're in the back seat like this, spilling their juice box. But you know how it is when your kids are young, you checking on them all the time in that rearview mirror. But as they get older, they start checking on you in that same rearview mirror. See, some kids are disrespectful, but some kids have lost respect. Why? Because you're a hypocrite. We had two core values. Be sweet, baby. Be sweet and go get it. So I remember report card day. When your mom and dad are teachers, report card day is a big day. My brother and sister would skip all the way home. Not me. Y'all remember those report card days? I used to walk home real slow. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. My daddy gonna kill me. And we would always go on age, and I'm the youngest, I'm the baby. My sister would slide her grades across. Great job, Jamea, great job, Jamea. My brother Lewis would slide his grades across. Way to go, Lewis, way to go, Lewis. My parents would say, okay, Walter, okay. You know, I had a little bit of a reputation by this morning, you know what I'm saying? And I would slide my grades across the table and cry at the same time. And my mama said, baby, are they that bad? It used to be so bad, I say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna spank myself this time. Y'all don't even worry about it. It got so bad, my mom and dad had a parent-teacher conference at the kitchen table. Think about it, when your parents are teachers, you can have a parent-teacher conference in your house. And my daddy was a high school principal on the west side. Some of y'all Chicago people know exactly what I'm talking about. He was a high school principal on the west side of Chicago in the hood. And him and my mama had a parent-teacher conference. You know what he said to my mama? Give him to me. No, Willie, that's my baby. Give him to me. Oh, you got vice lords. Give him to me. Give him to me. Man, isn't that what Bill Belichick did when he drafted Tom Brady in the 6th round? Give him to me. When Michael Jordan was a young athlete, he was considered selfish, self-centered. And the veteran said he would never win a championship because he's too selfish. And a young coach with no experience named Phil Jackson said, give him to me. Remember in high school when the teacher said, hey, if you don't get your act together, you're going to be somewhere flipping. What did McDonald's say? The most powerful franchise in the world are built off C students. So my mama and my daddy had that conference, and he convinced my mama to give him to me. So now my father becomes my high school principal, and every day on the way to school was a coaching session. You are just as smart as your brother or sister, but your value system is screwed up. This family produces student athletes. You are just as smart as your brother or sister. Your value system is screwed up. This family produces student athletes. You are just as smart as your brother or sister, but your value system is screwed up. This family produces student athletes. Let me tell you something. You want to make a lot of money, you better become a coach. What do coaches do? They recruit, they develop, and they retain top talent. They recruit, they develop, and they retain top talent. They recruit, they develop, and they retain top talent. You want to get your money right, you better drop the machete and pick up a whistle. Drop the machete and pick up a whistle. You guys know people who live with the machete. He's an idiot, she's an idiot, he's a thug, she's a thug, he doesn't get it, she doesn't get it. All day long you focus on what's wrong with somebody instead of focusing on right with them and simply say, hey, give him to me. You smell like weed, but that's okay, give him to me. You know what? She got 4 kids by 5 different men. I don't care, give her. I mean, if you really think about it, Jesus Christ started a revolution with 12 people. And he simply said, I'm a rabbi, I'm a teacher, give him to me. The first thing a great coach does, build confidence. Can I ask you a question? You want to make more money. You want to grow your business, but can I ask you a question? Do you know how to build someone's confidence? See, if you're going to be a great coach, you got to speak to people based on who they can become and not who they are today. Sometimes you got to call things that are not as if they were. What would happen happen to your money? What would happen to your checkbook? What would happen to your financial future if you learned how to build someone's confidence, told them the truth, and then set a new expectation? What would happen to your business if you were able to build people's confidence, tell them the truth, and then set a new expectation? As a man thinks, see, some of you believe you should be living day to day. Some of you believe you should be living check to check. But some of you believe you should be living decade to decade. Can we have a real conversation right now? What do you really believe? What are you convinced of? So you gotta think like a coach. Eventually you gotta become the shark. See, some of you guys' mind ain't right. You always looking for somebody to hook you up. You always looking for somebody to coach you. You always looking for someone to mentor you. When are you gonna be the coach? When are you gonna be the mentor? You looking for someone to change your life. When's the last time you even thought about changing someone else's life?